Man, this feel like a versus, man. This feel like a love versus more love.
Hey, you
You hear me?
simple, but why I was in my head like, dang, this guy I feel like.
Man, we gotta make up for them young ladies, man. We got this love versus more love. What you talking
Hey, okay, I'm trying to tell you. That is so funny. I'm over here thinking the same thing. Like, shucks.
Let me get this thing. Let me make sure I got it. So
Bless they heart though. Everybody is a work in progress, you know.
all right, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and get this thing started. I'll do all of the other stuff on the back end because I appreciate you for even coming through
Look, I don't mind, babe. Whatever, I'm with whatever. It's all good. It's all good.
all right, we are here, man. Let me turn this backyard down. Let me get back into my semi-professional mode. It ain't gonna be too professional because I got the sis here.
Listen here, do your thing, okay? Let your head down. Let your head down. I can't let
Man,
my head down, so you let your head down.
Shorty, look here. I'm feeling all that. I'm on board for all of that, man.
Let's go.
Let's let it happen the way it's supposed to happen. Look, so
Yeah, praise God.
first and foremost, my name is Ibrahim Nwagui Co, and this is Corporate Dropout University, and we are here for another installment of the check-in, where we check in with our favorite entrepreneurs, hustlers, and influencers to see how they are doing uh, in whatever all of this has been to whoever you know you want it to be. So without further ado, I won't belabor. I want you, young lady, to introduce yourself and your movement, and then we can move right from there.
Absolutely. So what's going on, everybody? My name is Taji. Taji May is what I go by, which is my first and my last name. I'm sorry, my first and my middle name combined. So yes, I'm here. Obviously, you see the shirt, you see the pictures. My movement is called Vent the Movement. I was trying to decide if I wanted to be more or less politically correct, or I just wanted to just simply be raw. But because it's in my character to just simply be raw, I'll do that. Okay. Vent the Movement pretty much started out on January the 1st, 2020. Obviously it was at the top of the year, January 1st. And I was laid off from my job. Not only was I laid off, but also my boss was laid off, who was also she was pretty much, she's like my mom. And she was the executive director and the CEO of that business that was in business for over 27 years, dealing with at-risk youth in the juvenile justice system. Somebody did some, underhanded stuff, and she pretty much lost her business. But due to that, and it was her business for all of these years, she pretty much was like losing it, like right before my eyes. And me also working under that business, it was like my job, I was up next, pretty much to take on that business. And so it was a lot at one time. And I think in that moment, I was seeing a lot of people who we work with kind of like losing it, trying to figure out what's next, So in those moments, we found ourselves like venting amongst each other, talking it out, doing these different things to try to keep each other whole, and to, I'm a spiritual person. So, me praying and her, letting it out, talking, and all of these different kind of aspects of, venting. And so that's what kind of gave me that mindset to spark this movement of a wellness connection, a network of, for people who have to vent, but need to vent in these different ways. So Vent the Movement overall is a wellness connection. It's a wellness network, that pretty much gives everybody like a different outlook or multiple outlooks on how to vent, on how to, let go, of how to breathe, from physical to emotional, spiritual, environmental, look, whatever you need, we giving you that outlet. So, when we hear, mental health, and when we hear therapy, I think sometimes in the Black culture, we kind of like steer back, because, therapy for us means sitting across the table from somebody who don't even look like us, who don't, never been through nothing, can't really understand me, kind of thing. So Vent was pretty much, designed so that, you don't need to feel like it's just that. You can vent in any kind of way, whatever that is, from dancing to speaking, little small sections, large workshops, whatever it is, so that's the overall. That's the overall.
One thing that I do like about what I've been seeing, from just kind of following you from afar, and then of course, really digging into it, leading up to our interview, is that I can't really put it into a box, and I like that fact, because it's like the same. I feel like, honestly, I feel like the movement is like, we like kindred spirits, honestly, because it doesn't have to fit into a box. It just makes sense. When I see y'all faces down there, it makes sense, because I done seen the opposite, especially where we're from. You see the opposite a lot. And then even just the sisterhood, like I'm rocking with it all the way.
And it's crazy that you said that, because I literally kept, even when I was praying and I was getting all of this information on what I should be doing, I kept saying, like, it seemed like it's a couple different things. And it was literally designed to not be in a box. It's not for one kind of person. It's literally for any kind of person, because if you don't like large groups, you might like our small workshops. If you don't like being a lot of people, you might want to do a one-on-one vent session with just me. If you don't like, working out, going to the gym, you might want to do Zumba sessions, when we do a Zumba session, so it's like, it was designed not to be one box. And so I love that that's what you picked up from that. It's not one box, it's so out of the box. It's a whole wellness connection. It ties in different aspects, and that's exactly how I wanted it. That's exactly how I wanted it.
It looks like, to me, it just looks like absolute expression. So
Correct.
to me, when I hear the word vent, I don't just hear it as, all right, vent, and like, oh, I just want to say something. I mean, like, venting however you vent.
However you vent. There
That's the
you
dope
go.
part. That's what I see. I'm rocking with it, man.
I love that. And I love that you picked that up, because you hitting it right on the nail. That's exactly what it is. However you vent, and whatever that is, I'm here to let you know this is the platform for it. Not everything is perfect. Not everything is go and sit at that table and talk to that person right across the table while they ask you, how are you? What's your name? What are you feeling? No, not everybody vent like that. I know I don't vent like that. I know how I like to express myself. And, sometimes I don't even want to talk. Sometimes I just want to be by myself and pray. And then other times I want to paint. And then other times I want to rap. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm loving
it be
this.
like that.
I'm loving this, yo.
Yeah.
So of course, I gave you the rundown of the structure, but just know that this is the you show. So you steer where we go. And with that being said, I always lead with this question. It's a very simple question, but I feel like people don't pause and allow people to actually give the answer in its entirety. And that question is, in all of the stuff that's been going on over the last year, over the last couple of months, whatever, how are you doing?
And when I knew that, you kind of gave me a rundown on what we were going to look like. And honestly, when I seen that, that question, I thought that was a brilliant question. Why? Because in some of my vent sessions, that's literally one of the number one questions that I ask. And it's pretty much similar to exactly what you said. Nobody really stops and think like, how is a person, how's a person doing?
Yeah.
Really. You know what I'm saying? Not like, oh, how you doing in passing kind of thing. Oh, you good?
Yeah.
But no, really, like, how are you doing? And me being a strong individual, and they say always check on your strong friends kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love for somebody to really, care or ask me literally, how am I doing? So thank you for asking that. But to answer your question, I am awesome. I am awesome. And, when I say that I am awesome, it's not one of those things now where it's like, oh, okay, somebody's asking me how I'm doing, so I'm just going to say fine. Maybe, a little bit last year on January the 1st, when you'd probably say, how you doing? I may have gave you that, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thanks for asking kind of thing. But really, I wasn't, really, I was not good. Really, it was January the 1st. I had just got laid off. Really, I was scared. Really, I was like, what is going on with my life? Where am I going? It's over. Like, I feel like I want to just, pull out the little bit of hair that I have, and I really don't even have none. So that's like, yeah, pulling out the scalp kind of thing. But, honestly, in this day and at this moment, I can honestly say I am fine. I am fine. I'm amazing. And it was literally a long journey. I'm still on the journey, but it was literally a long time coming just to get to a place where I actually feel like I'm good. I'm good. When you realize that, God don't change with the presidents, or God don't change with the, just because there's a pandemic, or, when you realize that God is the same God, like all the time, no matter what's going on, the pandemic, what president, it's the same. When you really get that concept, like you get to that point where you like, I'm legit good. I'm legit good, because I realized that learning stages are the best stages that you can be in. Yeah. When stuff gets shaken up, or where it's some kind of uncertainty or something like that, that's the best state you can be on. And let me tell you another thing. I read on, I was going through your email. At the bottom of your email, you had on there, on the other side of fear, we find purpose, right? I read that and I was like, that's it. Like, that is so it. But I added something to it, because on the other side of fear and uncertainty, we find purpose. And that's pretty much what it was. That's exactly what it was for me. I was scared and I was uncertain. And it was through that time that gave me purpose. And now I feel like I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And even though I don't know the full picture, because that's what happens. People get scared when they don't know the full picture. Even though I don't know the full picture and I'm on the journey, I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, because the pieces are coming. The pieces are coming. So I get to be real and say, yeah, I don't have the whole picture there yet, because I'm actually, riding a wave, but I know that the pieces are starting to come together. And even though the whole picture not there, it's starting to look good. It's starting to look good. 100%. So I feel good.
It's funny that you kind of gave that analogy. I was on the call with a group that I'm a part of, and one of the ladies, they gave the analogy. Well, basically what they were trying to express was people not understanding their full purpose until retrospect, right? And she gave the analogy that, like, a shoe. You just think about if a shoe had like a brain, right?
Yeah.
A shoe, it gets made and it don't even know it's a shoe. It don't even know that its purpose is to be put on a foot and worn. It think it's just, oh yeah, it's all about me. I'm the shoe. I'm the shoe out here.
Right.
The whole time you weren't made for your benefit. You were made for the benefit of a whole different being. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
And so I was just like, when she said, I was like, dang, you wanted something there.
Yeah.
And what I took away from that is exactly what you're saying is that you're not really going to know what it all was about until it's time until you check out of here. That's when you're going to really realize what it was about. We not going to know. Nobody really know what it was really about. You got hunches, you got feelings, and you go with those, and they generally take you in the right direction. But man, we don't know, man. We don't really don't know why we here or why we didn't end up a certain place.
Yeah. So. And honestly, honestly, bro, it was one of those things. And I even talked about this in one of my videos where it was like, so many of us, we like to stay in 3 feet, we like to stay in 3 feet because 3 feet is that safe zone. It's the spot where we know we can actually stand in, so we know we safe there, but the minute, we kind of like trickle over into 5, and then like, for me 5, I don't know, for you it might be like 8 or something, but when that water starts to kind of like get in our face, we immediately get scared, and we try to go back to the safe zone or to the 3, but it's a possibility that we can swim, we can swim, but we'll never know that we can swim if we don't even try to get over there in that water. We just try to be on the safe zone, and it was this year that made me realize that, wow, if I would have just stayed on the safe zone, I wouldn't feel so free. I wouldn't feel so like I'm walking right now in my purpose, like I'm helping people, with breakthrough, and be honest about really going through stuff and open up. And, I wouldn't feel this good if I would just stay in that safe zone. So, it's important that we start moving from the 3 feet from the safe zone, and not get scared when everything break in front of us, but we actually embrace it. Like, this is life, and it's okay. Let me keep stepping. Let me keep stepping until I see what it's about. Let me keep stepping, because it's all going to make sense. It's all going to come together either way.
You look, and you kind of you really kind of just explaining it, but I want to take you back, and you already really touched on it, but I want to take you back to that time period, and I want you to, if you can, uh, expound on what Vent the Movement was, or if it even was before the pandemic hits, and what did it become? Like, just take me back to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so when January the 1st was here and I lost my job, Vent the Movement was literally only a baby. I had just birthed my baby. And when I say birth my baby, that means the only thing I had was a vision. That's it. The vision didn't even look right. It didn't even make sense to me. I just knew that, the name came to my head. It was like God just gave it to me so clear, like Vince. Vent is the name. And I'm like, okay, because I kept, me and my mom, my I call her my mom, my foster mom, who lost her job as well. We would just go back and forth. We would go back and forth just talking about what was going on and how this happened and blah, blah, blah. We'd be going back and forth and back and forth. And I'm like, she is really venting. She is really, getting it out. And I remember she would say stuff to me because she's very spiritual herself. But I remember she would say stuff to me like, even though I wouldn't do it, because that's not who I am, I just feel like I want to just beat them up. I just feel like I want to just do this. I just feel like I want to da da da. And I remember just sitting there like, just get it out. Cause I get it. If this was my business for 27 years, I would feel that way too. And I just kept saying like, God, I'm so glad that she can, vent to me. I'm just glad that she can vent to me, and I can just sit here and hear her, vent, but not judge her like, oh God, you going crazy, or, you need that, or, but actually just hear her and let her get it out, and then even having, a close friend of mine that I went to and did the exact same thing, like, girl, blah, 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 and this, that, and the third, and all of this, just getting it out. And then I remember, a little bit after that, because, I'm also a Zumba instructor, a certified Zumba instructor. I remember, having these Zumba parties. And, when I would throw like my Zumba parties, that would have me, that would take my mind somewhere else. I was enjoying the fact that people was doing it dance fitness because they loved it. It was making them feel like, yeah, I don't really like the gym, but this right here, this is helping me, but at the same time, when I help somebody, it helped me too. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm enjoying this. And then I remember the I can't even tell you the countless amount of people who, even in this time when I was going through the most, they were hitting me up for stuff and advice, and they were going through this and they were going through that, and I was there, to give blah blah blah. So it was like, when I started to see these pieces come together, I'm like, okay, now I'm getting it a little bit. I'm getting it. It's like, people just have different ways of getting it out, and it's not always going to be the exact same thing, or it's not going to always be the same way, but it's going to be for the same ending, you know, for their well-being, for their mental health, whatever it is that they need, you know. So I remember, you know, just doing little videos at the top of the year, a couple of them, and it was so raw. You know, I remember just doing a personal one for my close group of friends, and I gave them like a real personal video where I was like, you know, I mean, like straight, you know, I know this might be a lot, but I had got like naked, and I was only showing like the top from my head, you know, down to my shoulders, because I wanted to just give them a raw, you know, honest feel on what I was feeling. And I remember their faces on, and everybody afterwards being in tears just based on what I was saying. And, you know, it just like after it was over, everybody started going around the room and started just like talking about their stuff, you know, opening up and talking about their stuff. And it was just like, people need to know it's okay to do that. You know, people need to know everything is not perfect. Like, it's okay to vent. It's okay to get it out in these different forms. You know, that form that I was just telling you about, that was a little brunch that I had. I had a small little brunch with just an intimate amount of people, you know, I mean, just an intimate group of individuals that I was very close with. And everybody got it out that day. Everybody. I mean, everybody left in tears. So I said, how powerful would that be to have multiple little workshops and events and, you know, and different styles where people can get it out just like that? You know, or how amazing is it when we do Zumba, you know, Zumba blast parties, and people, you know, they work out, and then they start telling you their story about how it's so tough for them to finally work out, but they actually doing it now because they can dance and have fun with it. That's powerful. That's good stuff.
It's a gift.
That's a hell of a gift.
That's a gift. And
Praise
it's
God.
a gift that you have to you can't run from it, man. Like I like, even what we're doing right now is, it started with like, man, like I got a lot going on, but this pandemic hit, and I know that some people probably haven't had the different trials and tribulations that I've had, so they're not like war ready like I am in my mind in terms of these types of times. And so it just started out with me reaching out like, hey, you good? I let them tell me, and I'm like, you know what? Majority of my friends are business owners. Majority of my people, my tribe, we hustlers, we entrepreneurs, we influencers. So why don't I not only check on them, but then also share my platform so that whoever don't know them that's following me, they gonna know them. And next thing you know, here we are almost a year later, and we ain't missed, maybe I say maybe two out of you know, all these months. But it was, I had to accept that, you know what I'm saying? Because I could have, at first it was like, okay, it's about to get real, I got to make sure me and mine, and you're gonna make sure you and yours are straight.
Oh, yeah.
But a part of who you are is, you are that leader that people look to see if things are all right to do.
And see, and I'm so glad that you even just said that, because that right there, me personally, when COVID hit and all of this stuff started going on, I honestly looked at COVID as, this is the best thing that could have ever happened. Now, don't get me wrong. Not like in the best thing that, you know, I know there was so many lives that was lost.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and anybody who lost, you know, somebody, you know, my heart goes out to you. I even did a video about that. My heart goes out to anybody that lost somebody due to COVID. But listen here, you had options during this COVID thing. You can look at this thing like it's the worst thing in the world, or you can find everything amazing about this time in the world. And even, you know, through this thing, it was even me trying to, you know, uplift my friends and tell them how amazing, you know, this was at this time, you know, for people. You know, I think I even did like a little rap video that was on my page, where I talk about how, you know, y'all don't even realize that you getting the opportunity to sit at home. You know, you getting the opportunity not to just sit at home, but to, you know, to kind of de-escalate, to kind of, you know, start over, to start plans, and to, you know, to work things out, and anything that you didn't do at first, people picking up new hobbies, and people are, you know, finding themselves, and people just needed a second for them. And people needed a second for their children. And, you know, people, this was like their, you know, this was like a break. This was like a reset, if you looked at it that way, because I found it to be so important that everything is amazing depending on how you look at it. Every single thing is amazing depending on how you look at it. And when I started to look at this thing, me even being laid off, when I started to look at that, like, this is a great thing, that's when it started to, to make sense, because there's a blessing in everything. There's a blessing in everything if that's where your mind is, if that's how you look at it. And the blessing for me was that although I was laid off so that I can find purpose. Sometimes where we are, we get so comfortable. We get so comfortable, and we get so complacent, and we just want to, we want to chill there. And because we serve a good God who want us, push to our full potential, because he said, I'm gonna give you life, but I'm gonna give it to you more abundantly. I want you to have abundant life. I want you to reach your full purpose, your full potential. I have to shake up the tree a little bit. Sometimes I gotta shake up the tree so you won't get too comfortable there, and you will move. You will move to where there's another tree with a nut with more fruit, with fresher fruit. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it is, this COVID thing was amazing if you looked at it in that light. It sucks that we lost lives along the way, yeah. But what did you gain? That's the question. What did I gain? And when I started to realize how much I gained, just from this situation, and from that situation, and then also with the COVID, and and things kind of like slowing down, and I don't got to spend no money because I don't got to go out, so now I'm saving. I don't have to be at every situation, so now I can sit down and take a minute and breathe. I don't have to be all over the place, so now I'm not going crazy. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is me really checking in with my mental. This is me really getting a chance to see how I'm doing. And then once I see how I'm doing, now I'm breaking it down on what I can do to, grow in this area, what I can do to grow in that area. I would never know who I am if I don't have a second. But we got more than a second due to this COVID situation. How you look at it? How did you look at it? It's the question. How did you look at it? Did you see the good in this? And if you still have not seen the good in it, it's like it's more, you could do more searching. You could do more searching because there's good in everything, depending on how you look at it.
I'm gonna say this, man. And this is not like I'm not being harsh to people, but I believe, and I'm gonna call us out. I'm gonna say that us as African Americans, um, we are quickly running out of excuses not to be great. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen,
It's getting real. Like we getting to the point where you know I'm starting to look at people crazy if they come to me with something and they saying that, well, I can't do this because it's 400 get do that. I'm like, you know what? Chaos and underachieving may have turned into your comfort zone.
okay,
You see what I'm saying? And so
okay,
that's about, the limitation, and more so about you didn't got comfortable in that limitation. And so, like I said, if we getting closer and closer to a point where there's not going to be any more excuses, either you going to be a person that just ain't really about it like that, or you going to be a person that's going to take advantage. Because honestly, like you said, we in a really, really good spot. And I also say this to you, and this is what I've been saying to damn near every person that has come on here thus far. You are not in the minority when you say that this has been probably one of the best years of your life. Because majority of the people that I come on here, it's a certain type of person. And it ain't like I'm just like choosing people. Like, of course, I choose people that I believe, their morals align with mine,
yeah,
But by default, every single person that I brought on here has said, no disrespect to the people that have been negatively affected. Even me, I may have been negatively affected in a certain way. But with that being said, this has been one of the most, like, I'd say, revealing
yep,
years of my life in terms of my purpose, my abilities, what I'm able to do with just these two hands, what I'm able to get accomplished. Like
yeah,
this well, 2020, like that was the year. And so really this year is like, man, I'm feeling energized. And
yeah, yeah,
even this energy from you. Like I love getting on here and absorbing that energy. I ain't deflecting it. I'm absorbing all that light you
And you
giving
know
off.
what? You really just hit it on the nail when you said, like, people are running out of the excuses.
Yeah.
Honestly, I remember hearing from God so many times to tell me that you're supposed to be doing da. I didn't have all of the pieces, but I knew I was supposed to be doing something. And I knew around what area I was supposed to be doing it in. And I just kept on, nah, it's easier for me to just, go and get my, my salary and, blah, blah, blah. No, it's easier for me to just blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I used to let everything that you can think of stop me from doing it. I'm trying to tell you, I used to be like, oh, listen, I'm not like everybody else. I'm from uptown. I'm from the hood. I ain't finished college. I'm this, I'm that, and it was, just excuses after excuses after excuses. I would be like, but, look, I didn't come from a well-to-do family. Like, I don't have the mother and the father. I don't have somebody who can give me the money to, any excuse that you can honestly think of, I made that excuse. And that's it. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you can play games, all you want to, but eventually, like you said, you're going to run out of excuses. And then it's going to be one or two things. You're going to sit there like, okay, I can't even play these games no more. Let me just make a move. Or you're going to literally, and this might sound a little harsh, but you're going to die where you're standing. You just gonna die where you standing. And when I say die, I mean like die, like, mentally, just like, you're not gonna have no hope. You're not gonna have no fight. You're not gonna have nothing. You're just gonna stay right there and just live that little complacent, going nowhere life. You understand what I'm saying? And this not to say that everybody has to be an entrepreneur. This is not to say that everybody has to be the boss or have to be the one. But if you feel fulfilled, or if you are walking in your purpose, and if you're going to clock in and just go to some place that you hate. You know what I'm saying? And there's a big difference, because I don't care where you are. If you love it and you feel like you're walking in your purpose, do it. But don't do it if you don't keep doing it if you know that you're not walking in your purpose and you're not fulfilled. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? And so after running out of those excuses, like you said, because eventually everybody gonna get to that point. It's no more excuses. Then you have to do something. You have to put your left foot in front of your right, and then do the same thing and keep it going and start moving. It's no way that you can just stand there. Look, I use this analogy with my little sisters, because I'm always, talking and trying to coach my little sisters about stuff. And I said, imagine this. If we walking and I fall and I hit the ground like face first, I'm like, oh, and I just fall right there. The first thing y'all gonna be, y'all gonna ask me is like, oh my God, you okay? You okay? And if I, just look up and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You be like, all right. And then you walk off, because I already told you I'm good. You walk off. But then you come back like 15 or 20 minutes later and I'm still laying in that same spot. What you gonna think?
You like something wrong, man.
Something wrong.
Something wrong.
You're gonna be like, all right, something wrong with this. Either she crazy or she nuts. Like, what are you still doing now? Like, what's going on here? And literally, people don't understand that that's exactly how we look when we have like a shakeup, or something don't go right, or a COVID happen, or this, that, and the third, and we fall, and we literally just stay right there because something happened. You look nuts. You look nuts when simply you can just get your butt up, because you're not dead. So you can get your butt up, wipe your knees off, wipe off your arms, and be like, all right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple.
I'm gonna add this. I will add this, right? Because what I in my few years, right, of figuring this thing out, and I'm still figuring it out, but there's some things that I have noticed. A step that is nothing for me is like running a marathon for another person. And so what I like to do is I like to give people like the smallest of the smallest thing that you could do in the direction of what you want.
Yeah.
Just do that. Get a taste of it. So, because if you're afraid of just getting a ticket and going, all right, cool. How about next weekend, if you from Southeast and you don't go uptown, just pick a restaurant and go uptown. Just so you can start getting understanding what it feels like to leave your little
Comfort
area.
zone. Your
You know what
comfort
I'm saying?
zone.
You
Yep.
and you know, like I think, so for those who don't know, me and Taji, we went to South Carolina State University back in the day. And by the time you met me, I was already on some Dalai Lama, you know, you already know, like I had the the dreads, all that. So, I
Everything.
seen the light. But that was a long time coming.
Yeah.
You know how crazy it was, or you probably heard of how crazy we were before that. And even before,
Absolutely.
just being in the neighborhood. And I had to make a decision. I was like, man, one day I remember, and I mean, and it's not the me show, but I
No,
love
go.
to
Yeah, it's
make it
good.
relatable. I can remember one day I came back for the summer right after freshman year, and we were in the neighborhood in the parking lot, and it was early in the day. Everybody outside. You know how it is. Summer days,
Yep. Yep.
everybody
Oh
outside.
yeah.
We just acting up.
Yeah.
And some said, you know what, man? I think I had my girl. She wasn't my girl yet, but at that point, we was just the homies, and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
everybody. So I was like, man, let's just go downtown. And we went downtown. We went to every museum. I had never even gone. I mean, I ain't went since '04. And
Right.
so
Right.
and so we went to all the museums. We just was gone, man. And we had dinner, and we came back around the way, and I swear everybody was still in the same spot. The only difference was now everybody had got a drink and everybody had got something to smoke. So
Yeah.
everybody turned up more. It's more turned up, but
Yeah.
everybody was still in the parking lot. And I
Yep.
was like, yo, I just did so much stuff. With like 6 hours, I was gone. I did
Yes. Yes.
everything. And I
And
come
y'all
back,
still here.
and y'all still here. I was like,
Crazy.
and that's when it made sense.
Crazy. I mean, it's just straight crazy. And honestly, weird enough, that's one thing that I've never ever been able to do. And I'm glad you brought up, even us being down South Carolina, because here we are, two individuals from the city, and then we make the decision, because that's not an easy decision, but to uproot and go, all the way to South Carolina, and just for the hell of it,
Yeah.
Mo went to state, I went to Claflin. Claflin is on the other side of state. We was next door neighbors. But just being down there, and us coming from home, South Carolina is something totally different
Totally
from what
different.
we're used to. Totally different. But one thing I always knew about myself was that I was not going to be complacent. Like I always had the push that I'm gonna go somewhere. And then when I get here, I'm gonna go somewhere. And then when I get here, I'm gonna go somewhere. Like I'm never gonna stop. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how, and let me just revert back to something I said earlier. I said it's just that simple. No, no, no. It's not just that simple. It's a fight. It's a fight, and you're gonna have to push, and you're gonna have to go through some obstacles, and it's gonna be some ups, and it's gonna be some downs. But when you know you don't want to stay in a certain place, you do everything that you possibly can to make sure that you move to your next, to your next space. And even when I think back to me, just being, because I'm a product of welfare. My mom was on welfare. I come from food stamps. I was homeless. So we did I was a lot homeless all over the city. I used to stay in shelters in Southwest and Southeast. I remember even going to a shelter before in New York and then coming back. Like that's how bad my situation was. And I remember saying to myself, even as a young person who came from that, I remember saying to myself that that's not going to be my life. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to be my daughter's life. That's not going to be my future. Like I'm going to do something different. And what's funny, Mo, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that about me because they see me and they think, oh, this or that, when really I came from nothing. So like, matter of fact, make sure y'all catch this motivational Monday, because I'm gonna be giving all of this, so people can understand where I came from. But it's like I knew I wasn't gonna stay there. I knew I did not want that life. I knew that I wanted more. So I kept on moving. I didn't know how I was going to go to South Carolina, but I knew I was going to get out of here and at least get to experience college. So that's what I did. So I knew it wasn't easy. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I did it. So it's like, what are we doing out here? It's like, don't be complacent. Don't stay in those same areas. Like, push yourself.
Let me stop you right here. And so obviously we had conversation about, the structure here, but I want to stop right here and get your opinion on this, because I've been wrestling with this lately. Do you believe that, for lack of better terms, it ain't on you, it's in you? And what I mean by that is, do you think that certain people, they just got it in them to fight through, like in the way that you did? You know what I'm saying? And it, like, what do you think? You know what I'm saying? Because I've been, and I'm gonna tell you this before you answer. Let me tell you where I kind of had like I had like an epiphany a little bit, but I still never really accepted it. When I was in high school and I ran track, and I was just like, I've always been motivated. I always been a motivated individual. And so even in that, I was like, I was younger than people, but I was a captain, and I'd be pushing. And one day, one of my homegirls, one of my teammates, that I saw, she was older than me, and I saw she had potential. And I was pushing her. And then one day she just kirked on me. She was like, "Damn, Mo, man, everybody not you."
Yeah. I heard that a lot.
And it caught me off. Like, I couldn't say nothing back. I was like, damn, so it ain't, everybody don't feel like they should just be the absolute best at everything. So what you think? I'm still having this, that was 15, 16 years ago, and I'm still fighting the fight of, like, it's in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just ain't tapped into it yet. But
let me tell you what I think. I do think I think everybody is different, right? I think certain people, it's naturally in them.
Okay.
Certain people, and I remember even praying about this, and I'll tell you about that prayer in a second. But I believe certain people are naturally born with the gift of go, with the gift of grit. And not even if you wasn't necessarily born with it, your experience, your life experience built you to that. It built you to be that in a natural way. So you already come with it. But then we're designed that way because there are people who also need us to pull it out of them.
Okay.
There are people who need us to give them that little bit of, give them that push. And it's not to say that they're going to turn into who we are or what we do, or as, go hard as we are, but it's to say that it's going to push them to their purpose, whatever their purpose is, because their purpose may not be our purpose. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to push them to be to their full potential. Now, their full potential may not be, my prime example, if they're, and I always like to use this one because I know everybody on this thing where they think everybody is supposed to be an entrepreneur, everybody is supposed to be this, and it's like, that's not even it. See, the thing is, and I be trying not to get too spiritual, but I got to be me. The thing is, we're body. We are a body. And the thing is, when you are a body, that somebody got to be the hands, somebody got to be the head, somebody got to be the legs, somebody got to be the feet. Not everybody was made to be the head. 100%. So if everybody is expected for everybody to be the head, how we gonna walk? And if everybody is trying to be the legs, then how we gonna touch? So everybody is going to be pushed to their, everybody can be pushed to their full potential, but their full potential may not be the head. Okay. I hope this is making sense. The thing is, perfect sense. Yeah, it's in us, it's in us naturally, some of us, but then it's our job as the head to, pull the people, to let them understand that you the hands. And then to pull another person and let them know, look, you better be the best hands that you can be. And look, hey, you better be the best legs that you can be. You got to be the best this that you can be. Because honestly, I wouldn't even be able to do half of the things that I'm doing had it not be for my support system, my hands, my legs, the people who may stand in the background and may not be the one in the camera, but be giving me all the emotional support that I need. All of the, what you need, what can I do for you? How can I help you? All of the, I got your daughter. I'll watch her while you do blah, blah, blah. And you get what I'm saying? So, you are at your potential. You're being the best hands that you can possibly be. I had to tell my friend that the other day. I said, one thing about you, I can honestly say, you don't care to be in the front at all. You stand really, one of my close friends, I said, you stand right behind me and will do any and everything. And she never want to be, she never want to be like recognized or in the light or nothing. But she does everything, do anything for me. Anything for me. But that's a lot of my support system. That's how they are. Even if you look at that picture right there, that's that picture right there, listen, it's strong, it's real. But we gotta be the Mo and the Taji to pull it out of them, to let them know, like, hey, be your best you. Because if you don't be your best you hurting me too. If I'm not my best me, I can't pull it out of you. So we all got it. We just got, not everybody has it showing yet. Not everybody knows the purpose or their purpose. So they need people to help them pull it out of them. So even when your friend look and say, everybody is not you, now I can confidently understand and say, you're right. Everybody is not me. 100%. But that's why I'm me. Because there need to be some me's. Just like it need to be some you's. Just like it need to be some you's. You get what I'm saying? So it balances out.
And when you and see, I'm glad that you put it in that way, because hopefully whenever somebody sees this, you can, and I got to be very careful, right? Because sometimes people just be people that's not the head, they be wanting to be the head, but I'll just say this. I'm gonna say this. You need to take some time and sit with yourself and be honest with yourself. So, but once you realize that you are most beneficial, and not just because your ego say you most beneficial, when you realize that you most beneficial as the head, you gotta own it. Cause see, back in them days, I was all about, like, I didn't want to stand out. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want to stand out. I wanted to just be like, look, man, this is what I'm with y'all, this is what we doing. And it was only until I decided that, you know what? It must be that I'm this person, because everybody keep coming to me trying to get me to lead the pack. And I'm like,
same.
All right then. But with that comes great responsibility.
And humility.
100% humility. Because for you to take the time out your day, right? You the head, right? But for you to take the time out your day and say, sis, what you doing, if you weren't doing it, I could not do this. That's important. And so that's humility, and that's understanding that, like, stroking her ego shit, like, that's you being honest with yourself. Like, damn, if I had to post all this shit, and if I had to go and go and do this, man, I would never be able to. And honestly, it's perfect that I'm having this conversation with Vent the Movement, because I'm thinking about how much of my show I'm running right now that I need to hand over. You hear me? So
I'm telling you, it is so real. It is so real. And literally, you hit that thing right on the nail. I used to be the exact same way. Part of the reason why I wasn't even posting my videos like as consistent as I was supposed to back last year, when I got the vision for this thing, I was supposed to already be posting. And I would always try to, like, low key dim my light a little bit, like, no, because then people gonna be looking at me like, oh, I think I'm, blah blah blah, and it's like, the hell with that, and I always talk about my videos, but I did a video on not conforming, not conforming. Like, if this is my light, because the thing is, you got to be, like you said, you got to sit with yourself, and once you sit with yourself and you know for a fact that God has put you here to do this, you can't dim your light or try to conform because it make everybody else feel comfortable. No. I'm not no longer, as a leader, you can't be in the business of trying to make people comfortable. You cannot be in the business of trying to make people comfortable. because that's where you start to kind of like lose yourself. And that's what was happening for me, because I did not want my light to shine, because I felt like people would look at me like, oh, I think I'm this or I think I'm that. I dim my light a lot. And then I also try to conform. But now, in this space, I realized that if that means standing alone, and standing alone don't mean I don't have a support system, but if that means standing alone, so that and being the authentic me that I have to be, that's just what I'm gonna have to do, because I have a purpose, just like you have a purpose, and I'm not going to stop, my purpose, or I'm not going to not reach my full potential while I'm trying to make somebody comfortable. Like, I can't do that. We can't do that. Why? Because, like I said, as the head, we need to be the ones that pull the hand and let them know that they the greatest hand. You got to let the legs know that they the greatest legs. But if we're not living into our full potential because we're trying to make people comfortable, we miss those opportunity to give people what they really need.
100%. And you have to be, your scope has to be larger.
Yeah.
Than that discomfort that's right there in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I mean, you got one kid.
I have one child. Yep.
You got one kid. I got two kids. Like, so we understand as parents that they can't see down a week later of eating candy every morning that they little shit gonna be toe up.
There you go.
They can't see that.
There you go.
I don't want to be the bad guy. Like, man, I don't want my daughter to be looking at me like, oh man, he always. But it's like, damn, I gotta do it.
Yep.
And when you understand, when you have that vision, you have that scope, it's your duty.
Yep.
To take care of everybody in a way where they may not even know.
Yep.
What I want to know is getting back to your actual brand, right? And how it materializes itself. Let's talk innovation.
Gotcha.
Let's talk innovation. Let's talk about how this pandemic, and we know that it was spawned from the pandemic, right? Vent kind of found itself. Found itself in the pandemic.
Yeah.
But how did the pandemic spawn innovation? Like with maybe technology or virtual or whatever. Like what does Vent the movement look like because of COVID? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let me make sure I'm understanding the question right, because I want to answer correctly. So you're pretty much asking me how, because of due to COVID and now, computers and everything, how is that making me go outside of the box?
Go exactly.
Got you.
That's what I want to
know. So when it comes to, and that's why I say everything is about how you look at it, because I thought, I thought it was brilliant at the fact, like, okay, I know people been wanting to work out for forever, but so many people are lazy. But now the gyms are closed. So in the comfort of your home, to be able to go live and to do, to do Zumba live, this is perfectly fun for people, because you don't got to go nowhere, but literally probably to your living room, or you can even stay in your bedroom, create a little bit of space. And now in the comfort of your own area, you are, doing something therapeutic, which is working out. So there you are, hitting another goal and, getting some therapy while, being at home. This is awesome. So a lot of, just doing the, the Zumba live is, that's, that was perfect for when it came to like our Zumba parties. When it comes to the fact that, you don't want to be in somebody's face during COVID, especially like when this thing first hit us and everybody had to be quarantined and everything like that, to still be able to communicate with, with individuals and make videos and be able to post it and to still talk about like, what's going on. Like that's, that was amazing for me. Even when it comes down to my videos now, that's amazing where I can post a video and not just touch my close friends, but anybody based on a hashtag that say mental health. So now you didn't even know you needed this, and you come across a video of mine that's, giving you something that you need, so now I'm getting new followers and people I don't know, or people in my inbox saying, hey, this is good. I even think too, when I was praying about you and your platform, and I even told God, I'm like, it's so crazy because, mind you, me and you, we like brothers and sisters, you know, we knew each other from school and all of that, you know, but your mindset was on your platform. How crazy is that for you to probably have run across a video and be like, oh, look at my, you know, look my sister doing her thing, or even for Loaf, which is Loaf, for you guys who don't know, Loaf is a mutual brother of both of ours, you know, for him to say, you know, Taji, go look at Mo's platform where it's like people can stay connected. So it's not like, it's like you're not losing yourself. You really are, you know, able to stay connected and to still be a part of this network virtually. You know, that's awesome. This is an awesome thing. It made me have to really, you know, revert to my skills and learning skills that I didn't have. You know, I always tell my daughter, I say, listen, there's nothing you can't do when there's YouTube University. It's nothing you can't do when there is YouTube University. Whatever you don't know, you go right to YouTube University and you find out and you figure it out. And I ended up having to do the same thing, you know, not being the most tech savvy, or, you know, knowing how to put a ring light with the phone and, you know, and work a Zoom at the same time as this and that, you know, you learn that. So now I'm finding myself learning all of these new skills. And, you know, since everything in the world is becoming tech-based anyway, you know, so, and I'm talking like I'm old, I'm not that old, but still it's certain things that I just didn't know, you know, how to do, that I'm, you know, that I'm learning. So this, you know, this is actually a great thing, honestly.
So and I was going to do it a little bit later, but I want you to kind of touch on the actual like what do people expect? What should people expect when they say, okay, I want to be a part of the movement? So give me, like, you already kind of touched on one thing, like you guys do Zumba parties. Like, what else are some of the things that you guys like that I can do? Well, not me. I don't know if I'm in the, I don't know, but whoever the graphic is, what can, you know, like what would we expect? You know?
So let me, and I'm glad you asked that, because this gives me a way to kind of like zone it in for you. So thank you for asking that. So first of all, let me be clear by saying, like, Vent the Movement is literally, we're literally a baby right now. I am in the middle of my growing stages where I'm actually working, you know, my way up into, you know, working my way through this whole entrepreneur thing, because I'm very, very new at everything. So with that being said, Vent the Movement, like I told you guys earlier, is a wellness connection. So the ultimate goal is for Vent by the end of this year, next year, we're claiming it, is to have its actual location that will allow you to be connected in a lot of different things therapeutically. So it will be from massage therapy. You will be able to, you know, I'm actually about to be complete with school, as well as a couple other individuals who's going to be working with Vent, who will be all licensed massage therapists, you know, certified Zumba, and also physical fitness individuals who's going to be doing fitness, you know, people who are interested in yoga, and, you know, just that aspect of, you know, releasing and, you know, venting. We're going to have that. We're going to have a lot of different vent events. And so those vent events are definitely well known, because they're always on my page. They're always put out there when we have them, but we try to do those at least once a month, where you can come out and be a part of the vent event, because sometimes we need the social aspect where you get to, you know, vent in these events where you have like these guest speakers, or people who may have dealt with this, or people who may have dealt with that, and there's different ways of expressions. Like I know, like our one that's coming up right now, we have the Free Yourself Saturday night brunch, you know, where we actually going to allow people to, you know, express themselves in a way that when by the time they leave, they're going to feel free. And I can't give you all the details because the event is coming up, but, you know, we're going to have a singer, you know, that's going to be expressing in that way. And we're also going to have a poet that's going to be expressing in that way, you know. So it's like staying connected, because the movement is always moving, you know. It's a movement. We always have something coming. But the services, again, like I said, would definitely be massage therapy. We're definitely going to offer, you know, and this is still working its way out, but we're actually going to offer therapy, but it's going to be different forms. It's all going to be depending on what you like. We're also going to you know, offer the dance fitness and the workout and everything like that, the events, and of course I don't know if I said it, but the massage therapy as well. Yeah. So, you know, it's still being, you know, worked out, but we on our way.
It's the energy for me, man. That's as, as they say, man. So and I'm gonna say this. I said at the top of it, like what you guys have, it's not something that can be labeled. And I identify with that because when you think about, well, what am I doing? Corporate Dropout University. Am I selling something specifically? No, I'm not. It's more so about getting like-minded individuals. And we focus specifically on entrepreneurship because I want entrepreneurship to be normalized. I don't want,
Yeah,
I'm tired of entrepreneurship being like taboo. Like, no,
yeah,
that should be just as much of an option when you come out of high school. If your mind is right in that area, you should have as many resources and you should feel comfortable taking that route in the same way that you would feel comfortable in just going to school and just not knowing. And so
agreed.
that's what it's the exact same type of space where my aim is to serve entrepreneurs in every way, and that's educating them, entertaining them, and of course patronizing them. You
Yeah,
know, that's what we about. And so you really can't package it. It's just like, man, like you said, when the spirit move,
yep,
it's what we doing. You
yep.
know.
And you
So
know what? And you know what, Mo? Honestly, even when I was, thinking about like the physical and the spiritual and the mental, then the environmental and the social, I'm like, I'm so glad that I did that connection because now I don't have to be just zoned in. I
yeah,
can literally go, move out. Like I wanted to, one of the things that we're going to be doing, as far as is it connects to the environmental when it comes to us doing something for the homeless and giving back. And I had to say, like, I randomly had that feeling like, okay, I want to do this because I wanted my daughter to, I wanted my daughter to be a part of that. And I'm like, I want to do this. And then when I said, oh, how does this fit in with Vent? And I'm like, environmental, this is our environment, this is where we live, these are our our people, so it's like everything that I do that helps my mental health, it fits. And I just thought that was, that it was so cool. And even when it comes down to to your platform, it's like your platform is amazing, to have people come on here and be able to talk about their movements or them as an entrepreneur. I think it's awesome. I also think that it was awesome that it did not have to be, it's not perfect, entrepreneurs that you're only picking, but like you said, motivated hustlers, because I may not be, right here yet, but I'm on my way. And so I
mm-hmm.
think that for you being able to grab people, even when they're not all the way there, it gives people the opportunity to say that everything don't always have to be perfect before
Right.
you start your journey. Everything don't always have to be perfect before you start moving and start making these steps. And when you say you want to make entrepreneurship normalized, it's like, then we got to start being normal about it.
100. Yeah.
Normally, it's not easy to be an entrepreneur.
Come on now.
Normally, you'll be confused as hell at the beginning. Normally, nothing is always, making sense. Normally, like, that's normal. So when people, kind of like highlight entrepreneurship and you only highlight it like, oh, one day I woke up and I decided I was going to be an entrepreneur. And now, bow, here I am. I'm making all of this money and I get to chill. And now I got this income.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to do it. It's like, who the hell gonna want to walk in that? But if
Shaming
you
people
have
because they ain't got that
individuals,
LLC and
like,
shit.
come on, who gonna want to do that? But when you have individuals that say, hey, I don't come from, I'm not college, educated. I did a couple years of college, but I ain't finished. And I come from the hood, and and then this don't have to be everybody's story. But when you start saying, but then I decided that I wanted to, be a
Yeah.
entrepreneur, and then I started, trying to understand what it was my purpose was, and then I started walking, and then I had a whole lot of hiccups. So then I stopped. And then, when I realized I can't stop, I got to keep going. Then I tried it again, and then I failed. And then I tried it again. And then I started to make sense of it by doing something different. And now I'm doing this, and now I'm doing that. And now it's starting to make sense. And even though I'm not, a millionaire yet, I'm starting to see a little increase in, that's when people like, oh, then yeah, I can look, if she can go through this, I can do this. I can do this.
Ownership.
Come on
Ownership.
now. So when we say, normalizing this entrepreneur, people got to be normal about it.
Yeah.
Don't dress this thing up.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it. I know you will see that word with me all the time when they say transparency, growth, healing, all of these things. Like, we got to be transparent. It's
Yeah.
not always easy. It's not just a walk in the park. It's not just, oh, I'm waking up today and now that the movement is this, this thing that's making me millions. No, it's a walk, Mo. It's a walk,
It's a journey, man.
man.
And one thing that you said is, and you didn't say these words, but what I felt was ownership of your shit, and that means of your the negative things about you and the great things about you. Ownership is one of the most empowering things that you can indulge in, is owning your journey and owning, like, your success, giving gratitude for, for the things that just fell into place, but also you got to put your hand. You got to, like they say down here, man. You got to put your hands on something, man. You
I
got to put
like
your
that.
hands on this thing.
I like that.
And
I like that because I mean,
so
you do.
ownership, man.
Yeah.
You got to own. You got if look, man. They didn't have no mandate on success when you
Yep.
came out. You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying? They didn't say, all right, man, when you born, you got to be successful. Nah, people, these are things that you said you want.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you said you want this. So I'm not
Yep.
about to make you do something that you said that you wanted.
Yep. Yep.
You understand?
And if you want it, then you need to fight for it. You need to
Come on
go
now.
for it.
You
You
gotta
gotta
you
go
gotta
for it. It's
put
a,
your hands on something, man.
Yep.
Stop watching.
There you
Get in
go.
there.
There you go. And honestly, I'm glad you just said that. Just stop just watching. Like, participate,
Yeah.
jump in this thing. It's not easy, but if you're not jumping in because you think it's going to be a little hard, then then you a weak individual. Okay, maybe that's not, that's not for you. But if you watching and like, oh, I'm supposed to be in there, then it's like, let's go. Let's go. It's not easy, but let's go, because if everybody is on the journey, then we can share in these, in these feelings and these things of, oh, okay, oh, you made that mistake, oh, I made that mistake, oh, you did
Yeah.
that, okay, I don't know this, but I know this. Let me teach you how to, how to do this. Let me teach you how to do that. Let me show you this. And us as the people who are, trying to grow, we got to be open-minded. We got to be accepting, learning, students all the time. Students all the time. I'm the biggest student ever. Teach me. Teach
Exactly.
me. I would
Exactly.
get my 6-year-old to teach me.
If you Once you stop learning, to me, that's when you start dying, honestly, man.
You took the words
Yeah,
right out of my
once you
mouth.
stop learning, once you stop being teachable
That's
and
it.
you get stubborn and you think you got it, then then that's when you on your way down the hill, man. Look,
Listen,
this is the
you say it
time I
easier
want
than me.
to know if and when you want to be contacted by whoever is going to see this. How would they get in contact with you? I want you to let the people know, where they can find you at, and just give us everything, the socials, all that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first of all, I just wanted to say, thank you guys so much for the ones that's already supporting. And then to anybody else who is probably watching this and you just decide like, hey, I want to follow her, or I just want to watch her journey, just watch her testimony, because I am a walking testimony. That's exactly what I am. And the journey is still going. You can always follow me. It's so important that you follow me. My page is going to be at Vent the Movement. It's that simple. You see it on my shirt. You see it up there on the picture. It's at Vent the Movement. That's how you can follow me. You can, my DM is always open. I always try to make sure I get to every single DM, every single message. I'm also on Instagram as at Taji May Works. That's my personal page. But I don't limit nobody. If you want to get to my personal page or my Vent the Movement page, that is open too. So it's at Taji May, and that's TAJIMAE Works, WORKS. Taji May Works. And then usually in my bio, you will see like my email, which is ventthemovement at gmail.com. So you can also contact me there using my email. And honestly, I just, and I'm also on YouTube. Don't forget YouTube. My YouTube is Vent the Movement as well. It's really catchy, so you can't miss it. It's Vent the Movement across the board. Vent the Movement across the board, okay? And that's on YouTube. And I will really, really appreciate, people just, making sure they subscribe to my YouTube making sure that they are reposting my videos, especially if you feel like it resonate with you. Don't be stingy. I hear a lot of people say, oh my God, this really hit home. This really resonated with me. If it resonate with you, 9 times out of 10, it's going to resonate with somebody else. Repost that video. Send it to your friends. That's a big help for me right now. Also, a big help for me is just making sure that you actually stay a part of the movement, because the more and more I grow into my business, the more and more I'm dropping new things, the more and more events that we're coming out with all throughout the year. And, I just love to stay connected with people. I also love people who give me advice. I love people who give me advice or love to see how they can help me or connect, because I'm open. I like me and Mo were just saying, like, we are students, and the minute that we stop learning, we die. And listen, I'm too cute, I'm too bald and too young, and this face is too big for me to die right now. I can't do it. I'm letting you know I can't do it. So listen, give me all of the knowledge. If you want to hop in my, my DM, or if you want to, say, hey, I have something that may be able to help you or assist you, please do that. Don't be shy. I'm I talk strong, but I am very, very nice. Very, very nice individual, okay? With a beautiful heart. Beautiful heart.
Let me tell y'all something. Yeah, so for the people that's not from DC, let me get y'all to understand something, okay? We not nice like that, but we got good hearts. Get you the shirt off our backs.
Okay.
And I would rather that than somebody acting nice.
Say that.
And they funny acting up, and you know what I mean? When they funny acting. So
I'm trying to tell you
that if you can get past the the bluntness that we deliver things, man.
Listen,
come on now.
Listen, stop playing, okay? Listen, it's not everybody's real open, but I'm letting you know this heart over here is good, So, I just appreciate you guys, everybody that's tuning in, everybody that's supporting, and then everybody that's going to support in the future. Mo, I'm so honored. I was telling my friend, like, I'm so honored just to be on your platform, because I don't care how new your platform is. You are going. Like, you are going and you don't stop. And I love it. I love it. Even when, Lo sent me the link to hop into the last time, I'm just like, this is awesome. And when I see stuff like that, it's that motivate me to say, okay, keep going. Look at this person doing it. Keep going, keep pushing, because it don't always make sense in the beginning. Nobody sees your vision, but you know what your vision is. And so when your vision is clear to you, you keep going. And that's where I am. I'm keeping it going, because I refuse to stop, because I know when that end picture come, it's going to all make sense. And then I'm going to see what all of this was for, so I appreciate you for even, deciding to even bring me on here and, be able to talk and tell my story about the movement, because literally it is a story, and it's so much to it. I just want you guys to stay connected so y'all can see it unfold. Okay.
100%, man. I'm grateful. I've been on your interview line. You hear me for a little minute,
don't
man.
worry,
I knew, what this would be. So I'm grateful for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this definitely not the last time.
Not at all.
Either do this or we'll do something else, man. Because just like you have things in the work, I definitely have things in the work, and it's all about connecting.
Yeah.
I want people who may not know about Vent the Movement. Man, they may be in Detroit, they may be down here in Houston, they may be in New York, they may be overseas.
Right.
My goal is to shrink our global community to where we can gain access to one another, because it ain't really all of that. It ain't all of that we seeing on TV and all that.
I love it.
It's regular people. We making a bunch of magic.
Yep.
And we right next door, and we don't even know all of the magic that we could be tapping into next door. We don't even need them people like that, for real, in the love.
So true.
True. We got it for real. It's somebody that's in my community that I can reach out to for every single thing that I need. You know what I'm saying? On every level. So
I love it.
That's my goal, man. So once again, I want to thank you, and for the people that will see this later on, I want to thank you guys. If you made it this far, man, you are the real MVP like a mother. And we do this.
Real MVP.
we do this every Sunday. We'll actually, we will release this every Sunday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 Central Standard Time. Always, YouTube, like Taji said, that's where you can find it, or the website, www.corporatedropoutuniversity.com. And I will leave you with what I always leave everybody with. You don't know the motto at this point, shame on you. If you call yourself a hustler and your hustle motivates, you got to check in. And that's it. We out.
Check in, baby.
Got to check in, Taji. Love you. I appreciate you.
I love you so much, bro. I really do. I love you. God bless you, baby.
Thank you. Need that. All right. Talk to you.
I love.
All right, y'all. Peace out.